Justin in Dallas, Georgia.
Yes.
Hi.
As for Caesar calling in back he was saying that nothing like intelligent just comes out of nothing. There's nothing. What he's trying to say, in such ways, but there is a really good example. Pi, if it is indeed a normal number, non-repeating, but yet goes on forever, it would contain the exact code for every video ever made or yet to be made in a computer structure sequence. So,
and what are the odds that the digits of pi would have been exactly what they are?
I mean, I have no idea.
Improbable, I guess.
That's right. It's infinitely improbable. What is that supposed to prove? Wow. Some things are what they are, and they happen to not fit neatly into our base 10 counting system.
Yeah, I mean, what is? I just thought it was pretty amazing. I guess yesterday was Pi Day, or someday this week was Pi Day.
3/14.
Yeah.
Today is 3/15. It was yesterday.
So it was yesterday. So I was watching a video, and they were talking about on YouTube. They were talking about how basically every possible piece of information would be located inside of pi if you wanted to extrapolate it all the way out. So I was just thinking to myself, well, there's your perfect example of intelligent things coming out of thin air.
Pi is one of those things, I guess, infinite monkeys on infinite typewriters. I guess if you converted them to ASCII code, eventually you get far enough and you have Hamlet.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, but again, I mean, like that caller, if he's willing, if he comes at us with a assumption that there's an infinitely powerful creator God who can do anything, then, you give them any piece of evidence, and they're going to be able to take this quite astonishing line that he took, which is, well, you haven't proved that he couldn't have done it.
Never will.
The point of science is to find out how it got done, right?
Yes.
Not to disprove the claim of believers in infinite gods that their God didn't do it.
Right, and
science works away at the problem until it's got an answer that makes perfect sense, and then it's done. And if you want to believe something other than that, well, okay, fine. But don't pretend you're being responsible.
Not get when they write these kind of books that you were mentioning in the article, where they say that scientists have some kind of vested interest in proving that there's not a God. No, I mean the reason they pursue
they kind of do
material
because
explanations.
if a scientist was able to prove that there wasn't a God, I'm sure there'd be all kinds of glory in it for him.
Well, yeah, but if he was able to prove there was a God, there would also be all kinds of glory.
But that's not what scientists are working to do, because they know there's no point. Scientists are working on actual, real problems. That's like guys who go around trying to prove there's no ghosts. More power to them. I'm glad that there are ghost debunkers out there, because believing in ghosts is stupid. But they're not. Let's not confuse ourselves and think that ghost debunkers are proving something positive. They're just smacking down silliness.
And there is certainly a place for smacking down silliness,
there is
obviously.
A very important place
this is one of them.
Okay.
But that's one of the things anytime you try and go out of your way to have a conclusion and then try and base things around it to make it look like a fact or a theory, that's where you start off right there in the first part. The incorrect way to do it. It's not science. It's
right.
Yeah,
Follow the actual evidence where it goes, and when you get to the thing you can't explain within the bounds of the stuff that you have already understood and proved, then you work on the problem until you have an answer. You don't make up an invisible sky pixie and say he did it.
Right. That's the same thing I do at my job every day. I mean, I write business code, and my boss will come to me and say, these tables are displaying bad information. And what do I say? I don't say, well, God must have put the information there. I'd get fired. Okay? Yeah, no matter how religious my boss is, he would not accept that. He would say, find the place in your damn code where that's causing the problem. And I do, and it's usually as a result of something natural.
Usually? When was it the result of something not natural?
Well, sometimes I get to a point where I can't explain it.
Okay.
That's
But
one
I
of the
still
things
don't
I've always
say it was
thought
God.
was strange. I mean, there's words such as a lot of times people try to say why, or like why is there a reason for this, and they try and use reason to things that predate human cognitive abilities, and stuff like natural. How do you say that something isn't natural? I mean, if it happens in a natural world, it must be natural.
That's what I was trying to get at, talking about how if there are supernatural phenomenon that actually interact with the natural world anywhere, then they're actually just an extension of that natural world's workings, right? So they would be problems for science to solve, not obstacles for theists to hide behind so that they don't have to give up their cherished assumptions.
Yeah, the whole gap thing. I made an analogy, or I guess it would be more of an analogy, that God is like, theists carry around God like it's this baby, and they have to look for a cubbyhole to change him every now and then. Those are the gaps they put him in. Huh. So God's fecal matter is what you find in certain gaps, and you have to remove it, and it's really hard to clean out sometimes.
Well,
okay.
You clean it up by investigating things and explaining them without the recourse for a supernatural being, I guess.
Unless if we got to the thing that we really couldn't explain without invoking a supernatural being, at some point scientists might go there, but they'd be looking for the ways that supernatural being interacted with the natural world, and those interactions are what they'd be looking at. And if studying those interactions indicated why this has to be something that doesn't touch on the natural world anywhere except here, it'd be a very strange God, because he can only do that one thing. But
yeah, I mean, really, now the only leg that creationists have to stand on is a false dichotomy. That if somehow one theory gets disproved, that somehow theirs is correct, and they think that this is something great, but it's really not. That they don't understand. I don't know. One of those things that kind of makes you want to facepalm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a frequent feeling for me.
All right.
Okay, thanks for calling,
right.
Justin.
Thanks very much for your call.
In the garden, are you there? Are you there? Shine.